Ready?
Ready?
Hello, everybody! We are back with the We Are LA Tech Weekly Blab Show, where you get to meet amazing LA Tech startups. I am so stoked to have Lucky, because how can anyone not be stoked to have someone named Lucky on an interview with you? It just means everything's going to go well, right?
Oh, yeah.
Usually. And we were having a little bit of an IT situation right before starting, which I thought was extremely funny, because what is today's topic about? IT. And our show has been featured on the Blab homepage twice today, so we may be lucky enough to have that happen again. But thank you so much, Blab, for your incredible support of the LA Tech ecosystem. And I present to you all Lucky. Lucky, tell us about all things IT.
So I am the IT director here at Premier IT. We specialize in supporting companies that are in the small to medium business space, so everything from startups all the way up to companies that are 500 and above. We are what's called a managed service provider. So we basically provide an outsourced option for people instead of them having to hire and manage and maintain internal IT staff. So the great thing about that is most people really have no idea how to manage IT people.
Right.
They don't know what IT is. That's why they're hiring you in the first place. They don't know how to get that computer working, let alone know how to manage what you do.
Right.
So one of the great things about what we do is we provide all the metrics so that we can tell you how we're succeeding versus just having like a guy who sits in the corner and you're scared to talk to because he has the keys to the kingdom.
Now, what's that mean, Lucky? I mean, let's start from the beginning. One, where in LA are you based?
So we're based in El Segundo.
In El Segundo, which is like South Bay. It's like the perfect beachy area in LA.
Yeah, it's like Silicon Beach, right?
No, totally. And what inspired you? I mean, your career in IT started way before now. I mean, you've been a nerd since you were like out of the womb. So
Yes.
like, what put you on that technical path in your life to lead to where you are today?
Well, I would say it started really early for me. So one of my first computers was a Macintosh. So PCs really came out when I was of that age, like my son, who's 9 years old. And it was just like, oh, yeah, give me this. I could do stuff with this. And ever since then, I've just been following down that technical path. I started building computers and before I realized I was like looking for something to do with my life, a career path. And it just was the logical, easy choice for me is be like, well, nobody else seems to know how to do this. And I can do this in my sleep. So here I am 20 plus years later. I've been working in the industry and, it's been great to me and it bring a lot of value to the people around me,
Definitely.
Especially my mother-in-law like next door and picking up the phone. Come fix my computer.
My mom too. How do I open my email? I'm like, oh my gosh, Mom, I can't handle it. So what makes Premier? Is Premier IT or IT Premier?
Premier IT.
Premier IT, and just can we post the URL for everybody that wants to check it out on the right-hand side? Now, what makes Premier IT different than the other IT solutions that exist out there?
So most of the other IT solutions are very small providers. That's what most people have come across. So basically, it's one step away from that internal guy who they've hired who's been in the back room managing the IT for, with duct tape and shoestrings for 20 years. Those are competition for the most part of the small little guys who are just one step away from the internal person. There's also other bigger providers that are like us in the market space. There's plenty of them as well. But we're in the top 10 partners for Microsoft in the Southern California region.
Awesome. And everybody tuning in, you are watching the weekly We Are LA Tech Show on Blab, where you get to meet incredible LA startups. We're right now meeting with Lucky from Premier IT, and we're talking about what it is to work in IT and offer IT solutions in the LA Tech ecosystem. He is based in El Segundo. I am sitting in San Francisco. I just got here. I am born and raised LA, but we're actually doing an event here at Blab, a mixer, where we're uniting all the LA Tech people living in San Francisco together, because that's awesome. And so it's very meta that I'm on Blab, in Blab, having a Blab event. It's very a blabbed out day. And so Lucky, what would you say are the advantages of being in LA versus the other cities that exist, New York, even Tel Aviv or San Francisco?
Well, one of the things that I found, I have customers all over the world that we interact with. And one of the things I found about LA is it's always been a kind of underestimated market. So San Francisco, saturated with just tremendous talent, but it's really pushed up the price point. So if you want to get a guy who's halfway decent at his job, you're spending an incredible amount of money. So then even in our industry, we have an office up there in San Francisco, and it's very difficult to compete up there because, I got rocket scientists, people trying to get into our line of work because they can't get a job at Google, So, it's difficult up there. We have San Diego is actually very similar, and I don't know if you're aware of this, but because of the people coming out of the military, they're highly trained. That's actually the other end of the spectrum. It's a very devalued market. There's so many people that it goes the other direction. But LA is kind of the sweet spot because there's just a tremendous size market, and for us to be able to tap into, and we don't have the high costs that you have as compared to New York. New York is just tremendous high cost, so it's very difficult to have real strong service providers like us up there.
Definitely. And we have a couple more minutes. One, how can people, we lost Lucky. It happens. What? It's happened to me before. I've been, oh wait, no, I can hear Lucky. I can hear you, Lucky. I just can't see you anymore. That's what's happening.
I've entered the Twilight Zone.
Yeah, but I can hear you. So why don't you just commit, even though I can't see you, if you could share with us, Lucky, because you're coming through my feed, so it should be okay on the audio end. How can people stay in touch with you? And also, what are some final takeaways you'd like to give everybody watching? Oh, and we lost Lucky's audio. No. Lucky, if you could hear us, please post how everybody can keep in touch with you on the right-hand side. That's really important, and I will repeat it. Lucky, if you could hear, please do post on the right-hand side, and I will repeat it. You guys are watching. Oh, great. You can hear me. So post it on the right-hand side so I can repeat it. That'd be great. We had Lucky from Premier IT. Fantastic, fantastic, fantastic entrepreneur living in Los Angeles. I love LA Tech. Check out PremierITInc.com. That's PremierITInc.com. Lucky is an awesome person. He's also in the Offline Experience Club. So I've got to spend time with him. I love my LA Tech community. As you know, this is the weekly Blab show. We are LA Tech. We are going to be back in like 30 seconds with your next amazing, amazing LA startup. Lucky also wants to share, when you do want to measure the success of your IT, check out Premier IT, buddy.